definitely know about myself I have the ability to suffer. And that's not an ego thing. It just is what it is. I'm definitely willing to suffer, so I'll still go ride 4 hours with saddle sores. And it doesn't feel good. But it kind of does. Just in actually doing something. Fuck this. Really hard.
I said you should see the next part of the ride.
Yeah.
It's all just like this. It doesn't look like it when you're going up, but when I was coming down, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That is so much steeper than it is. Looking. Daddy.
Yeah. I think we're 10 miles from the top.
We are. I went to the top.
Oh, you went to the top?
Yeah.
10
so
miles.
this is 10 miles from where I talked to you, like physically, and then another 10 miles would get you to the campground.
Oh, okay.
But it is very steep.
Just got back to the SAG vehicle. My nose is probably running. That was one of the harder rides I've ever done for sure. I didn't quite make it to the top, which was my goal. But I'll tell you this, I wanted to stop 4 times. Luckily, I had my SAG vehicle here, which was impromptu SAG vehicle. Thanks to my girlfriend. I couldn't have done this without her. This is such a hard ride. But I wanted to quit 3/4 up, and then I wanted to quit 2 miles after that, and I wanted to quit 2 miles after that. And I got right below the base of the top. I stopped because it was super cold, and it was stupid because this is what I'm wearing, like short sleeve, nothing. So I already went way past what I wanted to do, so I gave myself the okay. So that was 4 hours on the bike. Now I'm really hungry and ready to go eat.
Yeah.
You guys are my crew.
That was fun.
Thank you for crewing me.
That was really fun.
I couldn't have done it without you.
I actually really enjoyed it.
That's good.
Yeah, it was fun.
I kind of enjoyed it. Neve girl, you were my crew. Feeling pretty smoked. I think this is the 10th video I made. Wonder how many times I've said that in the 10 videos I've made. Bet quite a bit. Crunchy. And so I just want to recap that ride. So I wanted to quit a lot. When I was talking to the camera earlier, I think I said I wanted to quit 3/4 of the way up. And after I had my nourishment, you know, my brain has cleared up a little more. And I wasn't just focused on hunger. I wanted to quit a lot more than that, for sure. That was 4 hours. 4 hours solid in the saddle. So that's 4 hours riding time. Not just like 4 hours from there to 4 hours to here. Like I mean 4 hours like being in the saddle riding. So it was actually longer than that because I had stopped on the side of the road 3 or 4 times. Not for long, but didn't count that. 4 hours in the saddle the whole time riding. I checked the wind forecast before I started riding this morning. It said to be south from the 5. So I was like, okay, that's cool. That's not bad. But really it was like north at like 20 miles an hour. So no, I don't know what happened there. But basically I was riding into just a wall of wind. And I was the only stupid cyclist out on the road. There's nobody else riding bikes out on the road. And I just wanted to quit. I wanted to stop. That was my second time wanting to quit. And then Melia luckily pulled over at like a little turnaround point, and there was just flags just blasting in the wind. I was like, see how hard those flags are blowing? I'm like, I'm just riding into this wall of wind. So she's like, do you want to get in the car? And I was like, yeah, I do, but I can't. I got to keep going. So I kept going. And luckily, power pose, just kidding. Luckily, she hung with me. She said, okay, I'll meet you 10 miles up the road. Which was like, oh man, 10 miles, I already wanted to quit. I was like, that's good, I'll keep going. So I met her 10 miles up the road. And she's like, you want to get in the car now? And I was like, no, I can't do it, I gotta keep going. And luckily she was patient. And she said, okay, I'll meet you 5 miles up the road. So, got on the bike, clipped in, and started going. Good place to have a beer. It's probably piss in this. I'll recycle this. Ow. Got on the bike again and she said, okay, I'll meet you up at the roundabout. And by this time I was up at like 5,000 feet. And it just started getting steeper and steeper and steeper, and I was still the only lone a person on a bicycle on the road, and I was just getting buzzed by Lamborghini and sports cars that were flying through these mountain roads. And I wanted to quit because I didn't want to get buzzed by cars anymore. And I didn't want to do the elevation anymore. I was in the sun for like solid 2.5 hours at this point, and getting blasted by wind. So I was like parched from the wind. This is a really weird pose. Parched from the sun, and I was ready to call it a day once again. So I said, all right, well, I'll meet you up the road maybe 3 more miles. I said, okay, I think I can do that. She met me up there. I grabbed some dates, and I was like, man, I am so close to bonking. Like I could just tell the glucose in my system was just like depleted, because there was a lot of elevation gain, and it's just that wind, riding into that wall of wind, really did me in. And I could tell, I was like, man, I'm so close to bonking. And there's no cell service, there's nothing. But thank God for her, she decided to crew me and kept waiting for me, and was just like, I was like, oh wow, this is what it's like to be crewed. I could not have done it without her at all. I was really grateful. And so we got up to the roundabout, which is 2 more miles up the road. And this was like, gosh, what is this at this point? 6 times that I want to quit? I said, okay, I can do it. It's 2 more miles. I got it. And that was like 3.5 hours on the bike at this point. You know, it takes an hour and a half to deplete your glucose levels. Or, sorry, my brain's not working right now. Glycogen. It takes about an hour and a half to deplete the glycogen from your muscles. And once that happens, like, you're pretty much done. Like, you become a little zombie. You can't even really move. If I didn't have Leah, you know, watching after me and crewing after me, there's no way I could have done this ride. I was just so depleted. And I kept thinking about what I was saying at the beginning of, like, don't go around shit, go through it. And so I kept telling myself, like, okay, am I going through it? Like, am I being honest with myself? How much more do I really have? Like, I need to go through this. I can't quit. And at one point, I just looked inside the car and saw that comfy seat and was like, I want to be in there. Can't do it. I cannot quit. I got to keep going. And so I guess that was part of going through it. But there was one part that I had trouble with at the very beginning. And I was questioning whether or not I truly went through this. Our last meeting place was at this campground at 7,000 feet. Got there, and that was like 3 hours, 45 minutes in maybe. And she was like, you did it, you made it, you know, you're here. And I was like, I don't think I did. I got to go to the top. And that was at like 8,300 feet. And so just 3 more miles up the road, 3 miles, 1,300 feet of elevation gain. And so I got on my bike, kept going. My GoPro is completely dead by this point. I made it to the fire station, which is 2 miles up the road, and I could see the road hairpins, and I could see right above me the last point, because there's a big cell tower up there, and I could see that cell tower, and it was like right there. It's like being on the Hillary Step of Everest and seeing the top right there, and you're like, I'm almost there, but you're really not. So I got to the fire station. I could see the top right there. I was so less than a mile after I'd already wanted to quit like 7 times. I got to the fire station. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try a back road, which is a dirt road. Went nowhere. There's snow everywhere. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna call it. And I called it when I could see the top right there. And that's the question. Did I go through it? Did I go through it, or did I quit? It's a tough one. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it. Back on the bike, listening to Fleetwood Mac. And it's helping. My legs are shredded from yesterday. And I want to go back to that question that I asked myself.
Did I do it? Did I go through it? If I complete St. George, then yeah, I went through it. That's a fucking test. If I complete St. George, that's my answer. Week 9. Woo!